So I've been on the go since 5 a.m. this morning. I've been in, it's now 10 o'clock. I have done my gym shift and that was completely unpaid. So I'm actually going to touch on that a wee bit later and how that ties in to what we're doing in property. But before I do that, I'm over at one of the rental properties and I've contacted the tenant. Toilet seat's broke, so I've had to dive to B&Q. I've picked him up a new toilet seat. He's not in at the moment, but I've contacted him. He says just to drop it in and he's going to try and fit it later on himself because I think he's pretty handy. He's also as well offered to paint the property, which a lot of landlords and stuff might be like, no, don't let them allow you to do that. But he's been a good tenant so far. He's been in there now coming on 3 years. I think he's pretty handy. And my thinking is if I let him paint the flat and then invest a wee bit of time, invest a wee bit of money into it, he makes it homely, it's maybe more likely to stay a wee bit longer. Right, let's put this in. Close. Yeah. So that's me been in, that's it dropped off. Tenant says he'll get that when he gets back home for his work. Hopefully he'll install that. So yeah, we're going to tie it back into the optionality that a rental portfolio can give you. So as I say, I've been an in-person PT for 5 years now, and like I touched on before, if it wasn't for the properties, I probably wouldn't be in this career in its current format. So currently work for the gym. I do essentially 12 unpaid hours per week. As much as we get paid for them hours, we need to then give that money back in rent for the privilege to use the facilities. And a prime example would be in this month alone, I've had 2 text messages from clients that have chosen to either postpone or to just stop training because essentially you can't hold people hostage and people move on, and that's just the nature of the business. So that is signifying almost a £400 drop off in my earned income this month. Now, I'm able to soften that blow by the fact that I've got 4 properties that pay me a passive income every single month. But if I didn't have that, and I still feel like now the stress of that job where you have a drop off and the worry that, fuck, I need to now double down on social media, I need to get on the gym floor, I maybe need to do surveys, maybe need to do some outreach, to then replace that, the current stress, if you didn't have a passive income or a side income coming in, I don't know if myself, if I could do that as a career long term with that cyclical nature of the job. So let's have a look at this chart that I was referring to earlier. So this is a financial freedom roadmap, and what it gives you here on the left hand side is your monthly surplus, so what you make from your passive investments after your monthly outgoings. And in the bottom it will give you the number of properties, and what you can see here, there is a number of £612, and there's been studies showing that if you achieve this surplus after all your monthly expenses is paid, it gives you a level of lean financial freedom. And if you look at the inflection point, you only need 5 buy-to-lets, so you don't need a massive portfolio in order to achieve a decent level of freedom. It gives you autonomy, it gives you flexibility, it gives you security, it gives you safety, also gives you choices and options. So every property then after that is essentially just a lifestyle upgrade. Do you want to go on an extra holiday a year? Well, that buy-to-let will pay for that. Do you want to drive a nicer car? Buy-to-let will pay for that. Do you want to live in a nicer house? Etc, etc, etc. So what this shows is, in order to achieve a level of financial independence, you don't need a massive property portfolio to do that. So just made my way over, different location. I'm going to go and get my own workout done now. I actually like to train in a different gym from the one that I work in. So yeah, going to go and get that done. But in the next video, I think I will touch more upon what I'm going to do with the PT business and the transition online. And then also as well, tie again that back to property. I've actually got a consultation coming up with a mortgage broker. I'm going to discuss some options, potentially a refinance as well. So we've got that. I've got a tenant checking out on, it's tomorrow, Saturday. Tomorrow I've got a tenant moving out. I'm hoping to get access to that property as well. I can maybe do a wee walk round of that property, what we've done with that one, and potentially, yeah, some insight on that. So just stay tuned. As I say, I'm going to try and get these videos out a wee bit more regular, but I'm not going to commit myself to that just yet. But if you like the content, if you get any questions, stick them in the comments. I always respond. And yeah, catch you in the next one. Just subscribe, innit? Subscribe.